How does that relate to leadership? How does that relate to understanding different perspectives or showing empathy? Do you think that plays a role?
I do. I think when you use the word empathy, which is exactly what I think is at the core of good leadership, is you have to see what's going on for other people. Great leaders are able to really observe and have empathy and understand what other people are going through, what motivates them, obviously, and that's a motivation, and getting people to achieve things is, I think, seen as the bottom line of leadership. But I think at the end of the day, it's really, we all have struggles. We all get out of bed in the morning and have a day when we don't feel like going to work, or, have challenges in our personal lives. And great leaders can see what's going on for people and help them either overcome challenges or help them frame opportunity in ways that they couldn't otherwise. And I think being able to see past differences in yourself relative to other people or across people is a big part of that, because we are all unique in many ways. And so it's whether it's somebody's left-handed and therefore they need a different setup in their keyboard mouse situation, or they have some issue of how they feel in social anxiety and how they deal in groups. I think another piece of it I've learned a lot more about in recent years is kind of introversion and extroversion. And again, these are things that are not binary. They're not black or white. It's a spectrum. One of the things that I've realized about myself is that I'm more on the introverted side. But being introverted doesn't mean that I'm afraid to be around people or public speaking. I get up in front of very large audiences. I actually enjoy it, and I think I do a good job of public speaking. But it takes a lot out of me. And going to like a large event, a cocktail party, something like that, I will tend to focus in and talk to a smaller group of people, potentially develop a deeper, longer-term relationship versus jumping around. And at the end of it, I want to go off and be by myself for a little while and recharge. Extroverts, that gives them energy. But it's seeing that in people and understanding that I, as a leader manager, can create scenarios where someone will be more comfortable and will be able to lean in and do the work that they need to do. And then also create opportunities for them to be stretched and maybe be a little bit uncomfortable and grow and find a balance between those two.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think this is very relevant what you shared about being an introvert and also being a left-handed, and pretty much the same for me as well, because that is what I have learned as being an introverted but also being a left-handed person is that, I still write from my right hand, because as a child I was forced to write or not use the left hand. Right. Yeah. So first of all, that creates a lot of friction with why does the world look at me differently. Then the same with introversion, right? I think we now have an understanding of that introversion is not equated to being a bad public speaker or being a bad leader. But if I go back a few decades, and there was this very clear ideology or mindset that this is what a leader is and this is not what a leader is. So thank you for adding that. I think it adds to an extra dimension when it comes to leadership and actually dealing with different perspective, but also making those tough choices, as you said, right? Sometimes you have to make choices which make people uncomfortable, but you can still communicate and can show empathy at the same time. Thank you for adding that.
Yeah, definitely. I very much agree. And I think it's really relevant, especially in technology development, because so many engineers are more introverted, are more comfortable with a computer than they are with people.